Something is breaking at Heartland. Something deeper than any argument and more painful than any wound. In episode 10, titled Forgiveness, the past refuses to stay buried. Old mistakes rise again, new fears take shape, and the people we care about most must face the truth they've been running from. This episode is not just another story, it's a turning point. A moment where hearts either heal or split apart forever. And everything begins with the uncomfortable question. No one wants to ask, can you forgive someone who has already broken you once before? As episode 10 approaches, the world of Heartland feels heavier than ever. The calm we once saw around the ranch is clouded with tension, unfinished conversations, and choices that weren't made in time. Each character is standing at a crossroads, and the decisions they made in episode 9 still hang in the air like dust after a storm. Nothing has settled. Nothing feels safe. Everyone is trying to hold on, but the harder they try, the more the cracks begin to show. Amy is still struggling. With the weight of her memories, she wishes she could forget, yet ones that shape every moment of her life. She wants to be strong for the people around her, but something inside her is unsettled, like a wound that keeps reopening every time she tries to move forward. Her bond with the horses has always been her safe place, but even that bond now reflects a deeper pain she can't explain out loud. Lou is doing her best to appear confident, to act like she has everything under control. But inside, she feels the pressure building. Every decision she makes seems to push someone away, and she knows she can't keep avoiding the emotional fallout forever. Her leadership is being questioned, and so is her heart. The choices she has made recently may force her to face a truth she has been ignoring for far too long. Jack, the heart and backbone of the ranch, is facing a different kind of battle. Something from his past, something he hasn't talked about in years, has come back into his life, bringing a wave of memories and emotions he thought he had buried long ago. Forgiveness has never been easy for Jack, and in this episode, the past tests him in a way he never expected. Even the ranch itself feels different. The silence between the characters, the looks they exchange, the way they avoid certain places or moments, it all hints at a storm coming. Episode 10 sits in a fragile space, holding the weight of everything that came before it. And now every character must choose whether to face their pain or let it shape them in ways they may not be ready for. Forgiveness is a simple word, but in Heartland, it carries the weight of generations. In episode 10, this word becomes a quiet force moving through every moment, touching each character in a different way. It does not shout, it whispers, it waits, and slowly it reaches the people who need it most, even when they don't want to hear it. For Amy, forgiveness begins as a question she doesn't want to face. She has always been strong because she had to be, but strength has a cost. There are memories she pushes away, moments she wishes she could erase, people she still holds at a distance because the pain feels safer than letting them back in. In this episode, forgiveness is not just about offering peace to someone, else it is about accepting that she deserves peace herself. But that is harder than training any horse, harder than starting over, harder than speaking the truth she keeps locked inside. Lou's journey with forgiveness looks different. For her, the problem isn't the past, it's the pressure of the present. She expects perfection from herself, and when she fails, even in small ways, she carries the guilt like a shadow following her through every room. Forgiving herself is the real battle. She keeps telling others that she's fine, that she has everything under control. But episode 10 reveals the cracks she tries to hide. Forgiveness for Lou means letting go of the idea that she must always be the strong one. Jack faces the most unexpected form of forgiveness. Something from long ago rises again, a piece of his life that he thought was buried deep under years of silence. But the past has a way of finding you, no matter how far you run. Episode 10 challenges him to look back, to accept the pain he avoided, and to understand that refusing to forgive someone doesn't stop the hurt, it feeds it. Jack's quiet struggle becomes one of the most powerful threads of the episode. Even the ranch seems to carry the energy of this theme. The wind feels sharper, the air feels heavier. Conversations linger longer than usual because everyone senses that something is shifting. Forgiveness is not a choice they can avoid anymore. It's becoming the only path forward, the only way. Any of them can breathe again. And as the episode unfolds, it becomes clear. Forgiveness is not weakness. It is courage. It is the moment you decide that the pain of the past will no longer decide the shape of your future. Heartland has always been about healing. But episode 10 shows the hardest kind of healing, the kind that begins inside, long before the world sees it. Amy's story in episode 10 unfolds quietly. Like a slow breath she has been holding for far too long. On the surface, she goes about her day training a young horse, guiding a nervous owner, doing the work she has always loved. But underneath, something inside her keeps stirring, something she hasn't been ready to face. It's not anger, not fear. It's the guilt she carries, the kind that hides in small moments and grows stronger when she's alone. Lately, Amy has been doubting herself more than she ever admits. Every decision feels heavier. Every mistake feels personal. Wants to protect everyone around her, yet she can't shake the feeling that she's losing parts of herself in the process. Horses have always made sense to her. They never judge, never expect anything beyond honesty. But even while working with them now, her focus slips, and she feels a pull toward memories she thought she had locked away. In episode 10, forgiveness becomes a mirror for Amy when she works with a troubled horse that refuses to trust. She sees her own reflection in its fear. The gentle patience she offers the animal is the same patience she denies herself. This moment becomes a turning point. She begins to understand that healing isn't just something she helps others find, it's something she needs. But the challenge grows even deeper when a conversation unexpectedly opens an old wound. Someone brings up a moment from her past, and Amy freezes not because she's angry, but because she realizes she has never truly forgiven herself for it. She carries the weight of that memory like a quiet burden, hoping that if she stays strong enough, eventually the pain will fade. Pain doesn't fade when you hide it. It grows silent roots that keep pulling you backward. In this episode, Amy must face a truth she has avoided. Forgiveness isn't something someone else gives you. It's something you choose to give yourself. And choosing it means letting go of the fear that you aren't enough, that you failed, that you could have done more. Amy is learning that forgiving herself does not erase the past. It frees her from being chained to it. As the scene shifts toward the ranch, the light catches her face in a way that reveals everything she tries to hide. She wants to be the strong, steady version of herself everyone knows, but inside, she is still searching for balance. Episode 10 pushes her toward a moment she can't walk around anymore. She has to walk through it, and in that walk, she may finally find the beginning of the peace she has been denying herself for far too long. Lou has always been the one who steps forward when everything feels like it's falling apart. She plans, she fixes, she organizes, because she believes that if she can control the pieces, maybe nothing will break. But in episode 10, that belief begins to crack. Lou is facing a pressure she doesn't speak about, weight she carries so quietly that no one sees the strain until it becomes impossible to hide. She smiles through frustration, she moves through stress, and she tells herself she has no time to fall apart. But the truth is, she's already close. For Lou, forgiveness doesn't enter her life as a soft emotion. It arrives as exhaustion. She reaches a point where she can't keep pretending that everything is fine. A small misunderstanding, something normal, something simple suddenly becomes too much. And Lou realizes that she has been treating herself like a problem that needs solving rather than a person who needs understanding. She pushes herself harder because she feels responsible for everyone's happiness, yet forgets that she deserves some peace of her own. A conversation with someone close to her becomes the turning moment. They ask a question that catches her off guard, not because it's harsh, but because it's kind. They notice the tension in her voice, the way she keeps avoiding eye contact, the way her hands shake when she thinks no one is watching, and for the first time in a long while, Lou doesn't have an answer ready. She can't hide behind her duties, her plans, or her polished leadership. She has to face herself. Episode 10 reveals that Lou's struggle isn't about forgiving someone else, it's about forgiving herself for being human. She has spent so much time trying to be perfect, that she forgot what it feels like to breathe. Without pressure, she holds guilt for things she'd never meant to do, for expectations she couldn't meet, for moments when she wasn't the strong, flawless sister or mother she wanted to be. But perfection has become her cage, and she is finally starting to see the bars. This episode brings her to a new understanding. Forgiving yourself is not weakness. It's survival. It's choosing to let go of the idea that you must always be the hero. It's accepting that you can. Jack has always been the steady ground of Heartland, the one who speaks only when necessary, the one who carries his pain in silence, the one who makes strength look effortless. But episode 10 reveals a side of Jack we rarely see, a man haunted by a memory he has avoided for years. It comes back to him quietly, almost gently, as if the past has grown tired of waiting and has finally stepped forward to be heard. The trigger is small. It's an almost ordinary voice, a name, a familiar detail. That lands in Jack's world like a stone dropped into still water. The ripples spread fast. Something inside him stiffens. His eyes narrow just a little, and the air around him shifts. He tries to brush it off, but the effort shows. Jack is a man who has carried many regrets, but this is the regret he never learned to live with. Forgiveness for Jack is not a conversation. It's a battle between the man he is now and the man he used to be. The older version of himself, the one shaped by pride, stubbornness, and wounds that went to deep still, whispers to him. That voice tells him that forgiving someone from his past would be letting them win. But another voice, softer and more honest, suggests something else. Maybe forgiveness isn't about winning at all. Maybe it's about finally stopping the fight. Episode 10 places Jack in a moment where he can't avoid the truth anymore. Someone he once cared about or once hurt, or once pushed away, or turns in a way that forces Jack to face the part of his life he locked behind a closed door. He doesn't lash out. He doesn't shout. Instead, he goes quiet, and that quiet tells us everything.
Jack is not afraid of confrontation. He's afraid of remembering.
There's a powerful scene where Jack walks the ranch alone. The camera catches the worn lines on his face, the way he pauses before taking the next step. It's as if the land itself is reminding him of every mistake he made on it. And for the first time in a long time, he feels truly vulnerable, not because someone hurt him, but because he realizes how long he has held on to this pain. Forgiveness for Jack will not come icily. It will not come quickly. It may not even come by the end of the episode. But episode 10 makes one thing clear. The only way he can move forward is by letting go of the bitterness that has been quietly shaping his heart for years. Jack has always taught others about strength, resilience, and loyalty. He must learn something new: how to forgive. Not because someone deserves it, but because he deserves peace. As the scene closes, Jack stands at the fence line, staring into the distance. The land is wide, the sky is open, but he feels trapped inside his own memories. And that is where episode 10 leaves him not broken, but at the beginning of a long, painful, necessary path toward letting go. Episode 10 is built on moments that don't shout, they breathe, they linger, settle into the space between the characters, and reveal truths that words alone can't express. Heartland has always used silence as a form of storytelling, and in this episode, silence becomes the doorway to understanding. Each scene carries a gentle tension, as if the ranch itself knows that something important is about to change. One of the most powerful scenes begins with nothing more than a shared glance across the barn. No raised voices, no sudden arguments, just a people holding years of unspoken emotions in their eyes. The moment lasts only a few seconds, but it speaks louder than any confession. It shows how forgiveness begins not with apologies, but with honesty. It is in these small, delicate exchanges that episode 10 finds its heart. Another key scene unfolds outdoors, under the open sky. The light is soft, the grass moves gently in the wind, and everything looks peaceful except for the character. Standing in the center of it all, struggling to breathe through a wave of old memories, this scene captures the feeling of being surrounded by beauty while carrying a storm inside. It's the kind of moment that Heartland does better than any show. Quiet pain wrapped in natural calm. The contrast makes the emotional weight hit even harder. There is also a conversation that begins simple but grows more meaningful with each word. It starts with tension, but slowly turns into a moment of healing. The person speaking doesn't realize the impact their words will have there. Just trying to help, trying to connect. But the truth they offer becomes a gift the other character never expected. Sometimes forgiveness needs just one sentence to be set free. A softer moment comes when a character finds comfort in the horses. No drama, no conflict, just gentle closeness. And the soft rhythm of breathing serves as a reminder of what Heartland has always stood for. Healing through connection, through trust, through understanding. The horse senses the character's hurt without needing to hear a single word. And somehow, that silent understanding becomes the beginning of emotional release. The final key scene of the episode builds the tension toward what's coming next. There's a subtle shift in the atmosphere, a look exchanged between characters, a pause that feels heavier than usual. You sense that something important is about to happen, something that will push everyone toward the season's turning point. Episode 10 positions itself like the calm before an emotional storm quiet, steady, but undeniably full of meaning. These scenes don't just fill time, they shape the emotional core of the episode. They show how forgiveness isn't a single moment, but a series of small steps, honest truths, and quiet realizations. Episode 10 uses these moments to guide the characters toward something deeper, toward understanding, toward healing, and toward the choices that will define the rest of Season 19. Episode 10 may be titled Forgiveness, but what it truly delivers is a shift, quiet, slow, and undeniable. When the credits roll, Heartland does not feel the same. The characters do not feel the same. Something important has moved inside them, even if they don't fully understand it yet. Forgiveness has touched each of them in a different way, and now the path forward looks both fragile and full of possibility. For Amy, the start of healing becomes real. She still carries her memories, but now she sees that they don't have to control her. A small spark of courage appears, the kind that whispers, "You can let go now." That spark is not the end of her struggle, but it is the beginning of her freedom. And that beginning will shape the rest of the season. Lou steps into a new kind of strength, a softer strength, one that does not hide pain but accepts it. She begins to understand that she doesn't need to hold up the whole world to prove her worth. This change won't happen in a single moment. But episode 10 gives her permission to breathe, to be human, to stop expecting perfection. It is a turning point she didn't know she needed. Jack, though, is the one whose journey now stretches the farthest. His past may have returned, but so has the chance for truth. Forgiveness is no longer just an idea. It's a choice he must face head on. This decision will echo through the ranch, through his family, and through every relationship he has built. Episode 10 places him at the edge of an emotional cliff, and the next episodes will show whether he steps back or finally steps forward. The ranch itself feels different. It is as if the land has absorbed every unspoken feeling, every heavy silence, every quiet breakthrough. Heartland has always been a place where people come to heal, but healing isn't. Peaceful, it's messy, brave, and deeply personal. Episode 10 shows that change often begins in small moments. And those moments now ripple through every corner of the story. As the season moves toward its final episodes, the message becomes clear: forgiveness is not a single event. It is a journey, a choice made again and again, a path that grows brighter each time a character decides to let go of what has been holding them back. Episode 10 plants the seeds. The future episodes will reveal what grows from them, and now, with emotions rising, relationships shifting, and the past demanding answers, Heartland prepares for a powerful final stretch. Each character stands on the edge of something new, something tender, something difficult, something hopeful. Question is no longer will they forgive. The question now is what will forgiveness set free?